The Miraculous Journey of Tommy, a story of love and hope. Welcome to Life Tells Stories, the channel where everyday experiences become powerful lessons filled with raw emotions and inspiring moments. Today, we're sharing the incredible journey of a young boy named Tommy, who, in his darkest hour, found hope in the most unexpected way. This story is about loss, resilience, and the heartwarming magic that can transform lives when you least expect it. Have you ever wondered what would happen if life offered a miracle just when everything seemed lost? How can love emerge from a place of sorrow and reunite souls destined to be together? If you love stories about unexpected twists, fate, and the power of love, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. It helps us share more incredible stories like this one. And we'd love to have you join our community of heartfelt storytellers. Tommy was only 6 years old when tragedy struck. His mother, his only family, died suddenly in an accident. Since then, he had no one. His father was an unknown figure, and none of the distant relatives stepped up to care for him. So Tommy found himself at an orphanage, lonely, frightened, and overwhelmed by the world around him. The emotional scars were deep, and it seemed there was no one to offer comfort. The orphanage was no place for a sensitive boy like Tommy. He missed his mother deeply, daydreaming constantly about her coming back to take him home. He was mocked by the other children, who ridiculed his hope. "She's gone, Tommy. Stop acting like a baby." They would say, their taunts echoing in his mind day after day. The cruelty of the world seemed unbearable, and Tommy often withdrew into himself, crying silently in his room. One day, during a rare outing with the orphanage to a nearby park, Tommy felt a strong urge to see his mother. He couldn't take it any longer, so while the other kids were playing, he made a break for it. He ran with all his might, not looking back, feeling nothing but the pull towards his mother's grave. When Tommy arrived at the cemetery, he fell to his knees beside the grave, sobbing. "Please, Mom, take me with you," he begged. "I don't want to be here anymore." Tommy's young heart was shattered. He had promised to visit her often, but this was the first time he could, and it broke him to know that he couldn't keep his promise earlier. He felt truly alone until something miraculous happened, a touch that would change everything. Tommy suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. Startled, he turned around to see a kind, gentle face. Standing above him was a woman with a warm, glowing presence. It was as if the sunlight was surrounding her, casting her in a soft radiance. "Hey there, sweetheart. Are you all right?" she asked. Her name was Mary, and she had come to the cemetery that day to visit her own son's grave. Tommy explained that he missed his mother, tears streaming down his face. Mary's heart broke for the young boy in front of her, and she instinctively knew she had to do something to help. It was a moment of fate, a connection that couldn't be ignored. Mary knew she couldn't leave Tommy feeling so lost and alone, so she decided to do something to lift his spirits, even if just for a while. On their way back to the orphanage, they passed by a small amusement park. Mary looked at Tommy and asked, "Would you like to go?" Tommy's eyes lit up for the first time in what felt like forever. He nodded enthusiastically, and they spent the afternoon together, riding the carousel and eating ice cream. For those few hours, Tommy felt joy, real joy, and for a while, the pain disappeared. When it was time to take him back to the orphanage, Mary told him, "Your mom loves you, sweetheart. Never doubt that." She hugged him tightly before saying goodbye, leaving Tommy with a memory that would stay with him forever. That night, as Mary went to bed, she felt a deep longing to help the little boy she had just met. She prayed for Tommy to find a loving family, somewhere he could truly belong. As she drifted to sleep, she had a vivid dream. Her late son Adam appeared to her, handing her a piece of paper with an address. 443 Washington Street. He looked at her, his voice echoing softly, "Mom, please, take me with you." The dream left Mary shaken, but she brushed it off as her imagination. However, The dream repeated itself, night after night. Each time, her son's plea was the same. Finally, Mary couldn't ignore it any longer. She shared everything with her husband, David. "It's so strange, honey. I keep having this dream. I feel like Adam's trying to tell me something," she confided. Intrigued by the dream, Mary and David decided to visit the address that had appeared so many times in her sleep. To their amazement, 443 Washington Street was in their own city. When they arrived, they realized that it was the very same orphanage where Tommy lived. A chill ran through Mary as she saw Tommy, sitting by a window, staring thoughtfully at the sky. Mary approached him, her heart aching. "What are you doing here, sweetheart?" she asked softly. Tommy looked at her, his eyes filled with longing. "I'm praying that my mother will take me from here," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. It was in that moment that Mary and David both knew they couldn't leave him here. They had to take him home. Mary and David decided, right then and there, to do whatever it took to adopt Tommy. They began the paperwork immediately, and through every step of the process, they felt more certain that this was the right decision. For Tommy, the thought that someone actually wanted him was beyond belief. He had been so used to being alone, to feeling unwanted. The idea that Mary and David wanted him to be part of their family filled him with a hope he hadn't felt in years. Eventually, the day came when Tommy could leave the orphanage for good. Mary and David were waiting for him, their hearts full of love and excitement. "Welcome home, Tommy," David said as they entered their house. It was a new beginning, not just for Tommy, but for Mary and David as well. As time passed, Tommy slowly adjusted to his new life. He began to feel secure, knowing that he was finally home. One night, during dinner, Tommy looked up at Mary and David, his eyes filled with gratitude. "God answered my prayers," he said quietly. "My mom did take me away from the orphanage, and now I'm here with my family." Mary smiled, her heart full. "God answered my prayers too, sweetheart. I didn't know it then, but when I met you that day, I prayed that you'd find a loving family. And I'm so glad that we ended up being that family." We'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment where life seemed to guide you in the right direction? A moment where everything just fell into place? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your stories mean the world to us. Tommy's arrival brought a new sense of purpose to Mary and David's lives. They had lost their son, and the pain of that loss had left a permanent scar. But with Tommy, they found a way to heal. It was as though their love for Adam had found a new place to grow. They poured their hearts into giving Tommy the best life possible, a life filled with warmth, laughter, and unconditional love. For Tommy, Mary and David became everything he had ever hoped for. They became his parents, his protectors, and his source of happiness. He began to thrive in their care, finding joy in the smallest things, playing in the yard, cooking with Mary, and going on fishing trips with David. His laughter, once a rare sound, became a daily occurrence in their home. Tommy's story is one of resilience, hope, and the incredible power of love. It's a story about how, even in the darkest moments, life can surprise us with miracles. The connection between Tommy, Mary, and David was no coincidence. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring them together, to help each of them heal in ways they couldn't have imagined. Today, Tommy is a happy, thriving young boy. He knows he is loved, and he knows that his mother's spirit will always be with him, watching over him, just as Mary and David do. This incredible journey reminds us that sometimes, when we feel the most lost, life has a way of leading us exactly where we need to be. Life has a beautiful way of connecting those who need each other most. Tommy, Mary, and David were three souls in pain, searching for a sense of belonging. And somehow, they found each other. It's a powerful reminder that even when everything seems lost, hope can still be found. The love that emerged from a place of deep sorrow transformed their lives forever. If this story moved you as much as it moved us, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who might need a reminder that miracles do happen. We believe that stories like these can change lives, and we'd love for you to be part of our journey. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care and remember, love can heal all wounds.